Alright, we are live. So, I'm just gonna be talking basically right now before. I'll probably do while it's happening as well, but just before thoughts. And I mean, some storms are already starting to pop up down here in Tennessee. This is made, all these little storms are gonna basically connect and start moving more eastward. But before anything too major happens, I'm just gonna sort of run through predictions, basically what I think is gonna happen. Uh, so basically, there are some scattered thunderstorms already popping up this morning, and these storms will connect. And as you can see, even around noonish, these storms will start to try and form together and basically become in lines. As you can see here, 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 there are lines forming. So these lines of storms will just continue to somehow gain this fuel, and it's just continuously gaining this fuel. And this fuel will just start to move and go all the way out to basically way out here into the Atlantic. The storms will definitely bring some issues with them, like the tornado threat, but you can just see these lines of storms are just going to take up a good portion of all the states over here and basically move across the whole East Coast pretty much because you got some slight storms even up here in New York as well. Like, it's gonna be crazy today, so be careful. You can see several lines will move through parts of Maryland as well. These line now this is still pretty far out, but they have a rough idea now. But these storms will definitely be causing some issues if they already haven't already. So you can see where they really start to pop up and start to form around noon to 1, and then this is when they really start to move. Later on in the evening, this is when these lines of storms really throughout here will start to move through, and it'll start to gain intensity as the night goes on. So let's just see what this says for us. It's not really saying much. There we go. So you see the risk starts to move through around 1. Then 3ish, you'll start to see the risk really start to pop up here. It's really primarily around all the way from like noon to 4ish. Oh, maybe 5ish actually. 5 p.m. So noon to 5 is when the biggest threat goes by, but there is going to be other threats that go along with it after that. Some of the damaging winds will still follow, and they'll die out around pretty much dying out around 8 to 10 p.m. So you guys will get a break here, but it is not going to be nice in the day today. Some of these pop-ups are already actually looking pretty strong, like this storm right here, probably already causing some wind. But there, yeah, look at this, like thunderstorm wind damage. Yeah, so some of these storms are already going to be causing some issues. So we'll turn on this actually. Already got a couple storms that are severe. Yeah, there's a warning on this one by Jamestown, actually. Jamestown, Tennessee. Severe thunderstorm warning already, so seeing some of these things as early as only 11 a.m., which is crazy because these things are already building in intensity. Got a couple of these, like just like a little line right here, but nothing too terrible yet. Line moving just north of Cincinnati through Reading, Blue Ash, Sharonville, Loveland, Madeira, and even parts of Norwood. This storm is also a pretty stronger storm. Could cause some issues later on, but I don't think this one is warned yet. Nope. And you can see how big the tornado watch is. It's for this whole area from as south of pretty much Chattanooga all the way up into parts of almost Pittsburgh. So big area of tornado watch. Most likely thunderstorm warning or special weather statement, I'm assuming. Yeah, it's not letting me click, so. Already have had a couple severe thunderstorms this morning. Sorry about that. But it is not gonna be a kind storm. Well, several. We already have some storm chasers already up and are trying to chase some of these storms, but hopefully by noon and tracking them eastward. But I know even people like Ryan Hall, y'all are already out. He's already out of Pikesville and going north, and then I think east or south somewhere. He's been basically going back and forth for a while, but just waiting for these storms to actually start to form a little bit. Some of these stronger ones, like this storm right here, moving through basically Charleston, also look a little bit scary, along with this one down by Johnson City, moving towards Galax. And I get it's still sort of far out, and they can't precisely pinpoint. No, no, I keep yawning. But, yeah, some of these storms are going to be very, very strong, and we'll just have to wait and see what they end up doing. But they are definitely capable of producing a tornado or two, especially with these scattered ones. Temperatures right now throughout Maryland are lower 70s up into the mid 80s in some parts. Uh, in Baltimore currently it is 79, but you'll notice basically behind this lines of storms, it does get cooler up here. And this is because of the whole system that has been moving through. In Detroit currently it is 68 degrees. But you'll notice up here it's basically this cold front coming down and colliding with this warm air, but cold front will go through the areas. We'll actually look at Baltimore because when the storms move through Baltimore, it will be a lot better. Currently 82 degrees already this morning in Baltimore, so 90 degrees today, which is crazy. But you'll notice it should get a little bit cooler overnight when the little bit of a cold front will go through. Not much, but yeah. Some of these areas will see major issues. We'll see actually here. Parts of there. Alright, we'll look there. But there will be Harrisonburg, for example. They are in the moderate. Harrisonburg. It says damaging wind, large hails, and possibly a tornado with some storms. So 99% chance of rain. It's basically already said they will have some strong thunderstorms coming. Some of these places really can't get out of it, so it's basically guaranteed they will have a strong storm move through. Look over here towards like Charleston, for example. They got a tornado watch already. Are they in the? They might actually be. Yeah. Charleston. Did I like spell it wrong? No. West Virginia. It was right there. My bad. In plain sight. They already have a tornado watch ready. And let's see what their forecast says. Strong thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. Storms could contain damaging winds. They have a tornado watch already posted for them, along with a airport weather warning. So, if you live in Charleston and you're at the airport, you guys do have a weather warning already set up into place. Go over here. Sorry, one second. There we go. But these portions of majorly West Virginia, it's 10% chance for a tornado, 5% chance throughout this whole region, and we really need to focus on the 5 and 10%. Most people do like to focus on the 10% area, and I've sort of started to do that, but 5% is just as important. Even the 2% can be important sometimes because you never know when you'll actually see a tornado in some of these regions, even in the 2%, and sometimes even out of the 2%, you could see a tornado sometimes. So, always good to focus on all regions. The 5% will take up parts of northern Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, Maryland, Pennsylvania, parts of southern Ohio, Delaware, which it's hard to tell, but Delaware is also in that risk too, northern Delaware. So it's gonna be, oh, and oh wait, no, that's the same. The wind threat is still there. Get my hopes up for a second. 45% chance of significant wind threat. So the significant could be, 65 knots or higher within 25 miles of a given point. And let's just do knots to miles per hour. Let's just see this. 1 knot is 1.5. So let's say 65 knots. That's close to 75 miles per hour in some of these places or higher. So sorry. The hail threat is more significant over here. It has a hatched risk of 10% or greater probability with 2-inch diameter hail or larger within 25 miles of a given point. This area is over by Nebraska, Kansas, parts of lower Oklahoma, not lower, upper Oklahoma, sorry, in the top left corner of Oklahoma, that little sliver, and then Colorado, which is the major area where this could happen. Also, the 5% risk and a 2% risk over here by that top left Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, uh, and Colorado's included with it. See if it updated at all. A couple of these storms are already starting to pop up. You'll notice a couple of these guys are like that little guy right there. They are starting to form in some of these regions where it could be concerning soon. There is some strongish thunderstorms moving through parts of Dunham, Valley Mills, Newport, Calcutta, and going to be impacting parts of Tyler, Akron, Middlebourne, Canton, West Union, Pennsboro, and the Pine Grove. All those areas, you will have a strong thunderstorm moving through the system. Um, who is that? Let's see. Now that it updated a little bit, these storms. Oh, jeez, that one looks like a monster if it holds true. Some of these lines, they're starting to stay more isolated throughout 5 p.m., but a couple of these ones that are moving through parts of Maryland will be monsters, like this one right here. Just look absolutely crazy. Heck of a storm. And a line moving through basically several lines, basically moving through parts of northern Georgia. And they sort of condense into one gigantic big thunderstorm. So there could definitely be some flooding issues with some of these storms, if not already started, because some of these areas have already had some pretty big ish rain impacting thunderstorms. So, yeah, that is something to also keep your eye on. So, here are where the mesoscale discussions are. They are talking about parts of Kentucky, Upper Tennessee, and then Lower Tennessee in this one, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, parts where they are discussing already mesoscale. What is this? Tropical storm. Alright. Not a big deal. Parts of Ohio, Michigan, really Michigan, Indiana with Lake Michigan, and Chicago. This morning they are seeing some rip currents and strong waves coming in, so be careful if you plan on going to Lake Michigan today. Be aware of rip currents and possibly big waves. Even up on Lake Superior, they are in a couple of spots. They are talking about some big waves on Lake Superior, and even Lake Huron has them. Probably all because of the line of storms that went through and blew through and caused some issues to come along with it, including the big waves. Actually, yeah, that's a good one. Thunderstorm outlook. Let's look at this. So, parts of Maryland now, all the way down to Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, all the same, basically the same areas, have a 70% chance of seeing a thunderstorm today. So, 70% or more. That is really the highest you can make it. There's 40% chances all around here. These aren't significant. These are just, some that are possible. So, now Charleston with 3 threats. See what that third one is. Special weather statement. Strong thunderstorm will be impacting parts of Mason, North Kanawha, and Putnam counties. Oh my god. Putnam counties, my bad. It really does pay off to stay somewhere you actually know how to read some of the cities. But looks like a storm will start to brush by and impact some of these areas. What is up, Courtney? Welcome to the live stream. Just talking about the crazy risk for severe weather for you guys today. 45% chance, and with a significant chance as well of severe wind for you guys. So be prepared for that. Remember where your safe space is, because there's also that 10% tornado risk for basically the whole state of uh, Maryland. It's gonna be crazy for you guys. So 15% chance of inch-size hail or bigger too. So let me just show you what's gonna really impact parts of the whole East Coast. Storms really start to condense around 3-ish. Now they're saying just keep moving it back. And that's as far as we can go, but it will be causing tons of issues. Around specifically 5, 6, even into 7 p.m. It's going to be crazy weather for you guys. Over several hours, too. It could be like line of storm after line of storm. It's going to be crazy. There's also that risk out by close to Denver, by Ray County, Sterling, Sidney, Chappell, but that's not as severe as the one that we were looking at over here. Gigantic moderate risk. That is not going to be a good storm. Well, lines of storms, honestly. But really, there's nothing else to really show right now. We could pull up a couple of the Storm Chasers live streams of what they're planning and preparing to do, because they will be chasing some of these storms for the tornado and even just some of the wind threats. The wind threats will be crazy and act as like a EF0 or an EF1, which is going to be crazy, as some of these lines of storms will definitely be holding that ability. So honestly, probably one of the craziest severe weathers I've seen. Biggest moderate risk of a wind threat I've seen in forever. It's been at least a year or two, especially in the Appalachians region. The last one we saw, I think, was when I was like a little kid, and I don't even remember that, but other people were talking about it, and it even said on here, "You're not in Maryland. You're on vacation, my dog." Hopefully they will be good because he hates storms. Yeah, it will be several rounds of intense thunderstorms, and hopefully they won't bring the tornado risk with it, but it is a 10% chance, and it's basically covering all of Maryland. There will be at least one or two tornadoes. The wind threat's the worst thing, though. 75 knots, 65 knots or higher, so that means 75 miles per hour winds. Or greater. 75 is just like the lowest for some of these regions. Bro, who keeps joining this call? Oh. Don't know who that is. But, yeah, how's your day going? Yeesh. Yeah, these storms don't look good at all, especially down here. Oh my god. I have family in a. Where is it? Dalton? So we'll go Chadsworth. Worth. Hope they'll be okay. They should be. Got the severe thunderstorm watch, so. Hopefully they'll be okay. Because today is not going to be a good day at all. 90-mile-per-hour winds in some of these areas is some of what some of these other forecasters are saying. Like this dude, he's saying 90-mile-per-hour winds and widespread damages. Be prepared. So, my day was good. I saw a baby turtle. How's your day been? It's been good so far. Just mainly woke up and started looking at this. I knew last night it was gonna get upgraded to a moderate risk, so woke up and it's a gigantic moderate risk. Not what I was expecting, but good, good. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Tropical tidbits. They're saying some of these areas could get 2 to 3 inches of rain, so look at some of the other models though. Mm. Oh, you can't even go forward with this model. This model sucks. Forgot. But, tell your grandma where the safe place is if there ever does have that tornado or two, because those there's a high risk today. It's not gonna be good at all. Really, it won't. Especially when you start to see some storms already popping up around like noonish, and it's trying to already sort of condense. Not good. Really starting to see all these little guys pop up, which is scary. Look at this. There's like 6 there, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Really all on the same line, so. Once you already see lines forming at like noon, that's not a good sign. Little lines, but still could cause some damage. The weather where I am looks like there's no rain the whole week. Nice. Yeah, you lucked out going on vacation because really, it is scary. It's looking very scary at least. So, because by 5 p.m., if you look here, rolling through the whole Maryland, this thing's gonna start to shift downwards as well and start to go into all these little in biggish cities like Baltimore, Annapolis, Washington, Alexandria, Baltimore. If I didn't say that, Bel Air, like all these places are just gonna get hit hard, maybe even by several rounds too. So. Look at this. 92. Ugh. Tomorrow's gonna be 96, dude. Yuck. Nearing 100. It's gonna feel like it with the humidity, so. Fun, fun. He's your fave? Yeah. Ugh. Don't really know what else to go on or really rant about. Probably later on I'll track some of these storms. I'll be live again tracking some of them. We don't get much severe weather here, so it's cool when we see it in other places. Some of these areas, jeez, like some spots, 6 inches of rain there. Don't really know what else to talk about, honestly. Probably end the live because there's not really much else to show for right now, at least. Sadly, the sun is going back down and it's shifting back to going way down here, which is sucky because that means we won't have summer for much longer. It's going to start to turn to fall and then winter. I really don't want to have to go back into winter. Some of these spots it is literally dry. Jeez. Yeah. You look down here and it's like almost black, like 90 degrees humidity, but that actually sort of sucks. Because that means we're at almost 100% humidity. I'm probably going to end the live here. Probably make another one for a lot longer tonight, just tracking some of the storms, because there'll be tornadoes with them, and wind, and hail, and significant hail, and flooding, and torrential rainfall, and significant wind, and possibly a significant tornado, and rain, and I really don't know what else. Sounds good. You'll try to join tonight? Alright. Not a problem if you can't. But have fun on vacation. Make sure to stay safe. Well, don't tell your grandma to stay safe. Sounds like you'll be fine. But have fun. Peace out. And